Good morning to you all. I missed you all over spring break, and I know I'm definitely ready for another day of learning fun in kindergarten. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but we actually have a new schedule that we're going to be working with. It looks a little different. It's mostly the same, but I added one thing and I took one thing away. So let's talk about our schedule for today, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. So, number one on our schedule is calendar. And I actually printed off a calendar to show you so we can talk about calendar together today. Number two, we'll do our daily write it, just like always. And then our letter and number review, just like always. Then we'll do our lesson plan packet. We'll do our read aloud, and I have a pirate one today that I know you'll think is pretty funny. I added math. I know that we talked about 3D shapes, so fat shapes, last week, and I would like for us to continue talking about shapes and some more math things since it's going to be a while before we go back to school. There's a few math things that we need to know if we're going to go to first grade. Number 7 is our flashcard practice, just like always. And then we're going to do our thematic video at the very end of our lessons. So I hope you're ready. Let's go ahead and get started. Number 1 is calendar. So I printed off a calendar, and I don't know if you guys know this, but the month is April. Now it's still 2020, that is our year, but our month is April now. So if you'll notice, this first week was spring break, okay? Now we're in our week 3 of being home from school, and that's this week. Saturday is actually my birthday. I'm super excited about that. I wonder how old I'm going to be. Do you guys have a prediction? Then we have week 4, and our parents get to come to school on either the 13th or the 14th to pick up our new week 4 packets. And I don't know if we'll be getting week 5 and 6 as well. But they're also going to drop off the packets we've already done. So those are special days. We actually have Easter on Sunday too. So this weekend on Sunday, it will be Easter, which is exciting. The next week is a holiday called Earth Day, and that's in the middle of week 5. And then week 6, we don't have any special activities yet. So I'm wondering, do you guys have any special days that you would like for us to add to our calendar? Maybe you have a birthday that we could add to the calendar? If so, ask your family to let me know and we can add your birthday in here. Now, let's talk about today. So, boys and girls, this was yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday. So if yesterday was Sunday, then today is Monday, and tomorrow will be Tuesday. Today is Monday, April 6th. Let's sing our Days of the Week song. There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in the week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Nice job. All right, now that we know what today is, let's go ahead and move on to number 2, our daily write it, which I have here for you. And here's our sentence. Or I'm sorry, here is our picture. There it is. I found it. Okay. Now, our word today is cat. And I'm pretty sure that we did this word before, but let's do it again. Cat. Tap it. K-at. Cat. K-at. Cat. And if you write cat, you'll get C-A-T to spell the word cat. The sentence that I would like for you to write today is, his cat is with me. His cat is with me. Remember to do everything that good writers do. Capital letters at the beginning of our sentence, spaces, punctuation, form our letters correctly. Go ahead and pause the video and write, his cat is with me. Okay, so now you should have paused the video and you should have written your sentence, and now let's go over it. Here we go. His cat is with me. It starts with a capital letter. Now, I circled the word his because it's actually going to be a new trick word that we are learning. We already know how to spell is. I-S is. So if we had the sound to the beginning, it will make his. His cat is with me. I didn't have enough room to write me at the end of the first line, so I had to write it at the beginning of the next line. I have spaces in between all of my words, and it was a telling sentence. I was telling you that his cat is with me, so we have a period at the end. If you made a mistake, that's okay. Go ahead and pause your video and finish it or fix it now. Okay, let's move on because your sentence is hopefully now correct. Let's move on to letter and number review. Today we're working on K, like kindergarten starts with K. So first we need our uppercase letter. I'm going to pinch my marker, lay it back to sleep. Mom and Dad sit in the front and the kids go in the back. Remember, you can also hold it with 3 fingers if you want to. Now, for uppercase K, I start at the skyline, go straight down to the grass line, frog jump up to the skyline, slide and touch the tall line, slide to the grass line. K, kite, K. Now remember, your touch needs to be on the plane line, right? So when you make your K, make sure your touch is on the plane line. Now let's practice lowercase k. It too starts with a straight line down, but then we frog jump over to the plane line, slide and touch the tall line, slide and touch the grass line. K, kite, K. For our number today, we are working with the number 8. Remember, all numbers start at the skyline. Make an S and do not wait. Climb back up to make an 8. Now, 8 is 1 less than 9. Which number would be 2 less than 9? So we have 9. We need 2 less, so we'll take away 2. 1, 2. Our answer is 7. I'll bet you got that right. Now, if I wanted to make this 18, what do I need to do to it? Add a 1 in the front. A 1 and an 8 makes 18. Great. Nice job. Go ahead and pause the video. Make maybe 2 uppercase K's and lowercase K's, and then make a few number 8s, and then turn them into 18s. Go ahead and pause the video and do it now. All right, and now that you're finished with that, let's move on. Number 4, our lesson plan packet. I have mine right here. You are working in week 3 this week. So find your week 3 packet. Remember, it's easier to take everything apart, all the papers out. And here's our lesson plan. So week 1, the first thing we're doing dairy farms. So this is an article that parents are going to read to their kiddos. Okay, so parents will read dairy farms. I can't talk today. So after your parent reads you dairy farms, the next thing that we do is we roll the question cube. So you'll roll the question cube, see what you get. Whatever word is on top, you will think of a question using that word to ask about dairy farms. When you're done with that, you're going to draw a picture in the Monday box of something you learned from the article Dairy Farms. Okay, so that completes our reading activities. let's move on to math. For math, it says our review project. How tall am I? Day 1. So that is this little book. You have a paper that looks like this. You're going to fold it to make a book. And it says, How Tall Am I? A math storybook by you. You are the author. Now, let's see what we need to do. Our first page says, I am taller than a flower. So think of an object that would be taller than a flower and draw a picture of it next to the flower. Remember, if your object is taller, you have to draw it so that it is taller. Not shorter, but taller. Our next page says, I am shorter than a tree. So draw an object that is shorter than a tree. Our last page says, I look in the mirror. I am the same size as me. So your body is going to be drawn next to the mirror. And if your body in the mirror and your body in real life are the same size, you need to make sure that when you draw yourself in the mirror, you're the same size as your body that you draw. So your reflection and your body are going to be the same height. One is not going to be taller or shorter. They're both going to be the same. All right, let's move on. We have our reading log. Remember, you can read your stories now. You can read them at night before you go to bed, when you wake up in the morning, whatever works best for your family. You can read to your family or your family can read to you. And after you do that, you're going to write that on your reading log. Okay? Now, moving on to phonics. The first thing we're doing is our letter practice sheet, which is this. So today, you're going to use a pencil and you're going to trace and write T-U-V, Q, R, and S. Remember, all uppercase letters start at the skyline. Our letters should not go up above the skyline or down below the grass line. We need to make sure that we form them correctly. You're going to trace and then write 2 more, trace and write 2 more, trace and write 2 more for both sides. And save this paper because you're going to be using it tomorrow too. The next activity, and actually the last activity in our packet today, is Phonics Week 3, Day 1, which is this paper right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to use star-worthy writing to trace the L, H, and K. Then you're going to write the beginning sound of each picture. So this is a hammer. What do you hear at the beginning of hammer? So you would write the letter H. Now, these pictures that I put a star next to, I want you to try to sound out the whole word. So use everything that you have learned this year in kindergarten, and I want you to write the whole word for hat, key, and kite. Remember, there's something special that we have to do to make sure that the word says kite and not kit. When you're done, you're going to flip the paper over, and now you're going to work on V and W. Once again, you'll write the beginning sound for all of the pictures, but on the word van and the word wind, I want you to stretch out and write the whole word. I know you guys can do it. So go ahead and give the video a pause, complete all of your reading packet, and then I will see you in just a little bit. Hey guys, welcome back. Let's move on to number 5, our read aloud. Today, we have a story about a pig who really wants to be a pirate. So let's read this book. It's called Rufus Goes to Sea, and let's see what happens to Rufus the pig. So, Rufus Goes to Sea by Kim Griswell, illustrated by Valery Gorbashki. Remember, the author, the person who it says by, That's the person who wrote the words. Illustrated means they drew the pictures. All right. I love the pictures in this book. Rufus Leroy Williams III loved going to school. He loved reading, he loved writing, he loved playtime and nap time and story time. But one day, Rufus found the school door locked. Rufus sat down to read his favorite book. Rufus read about days of adventure. He read about nights under blankets of stars. Rufus knew just what to do for summer vacation. He would become a pirate. Rufus packed his lunchbox, put on his backpack, and picked up his blanket. Then he called a taxi. "My name is Rufus Leroy Williams III," said Rufus, "and I want to be a pirate." "Hang on," said the taxi driver. Rufus Leroy Williams III trotted to the ship. He looked up, up, up at the deck. Then he opened his book. "Permission to come aboard," it says. "Permission to come aboard!" shouted Rufus. "Shiver me whiskers," said First Mate Scratch Whiskers. "It's a pig!" Faces peered over the rail. "My name is Rufus Leroy Williams III," said Rufus, "and I want to be a pirate." No pirates on pirate ships, or no pigs on pirate ships," growled Captain Wibbly Shins. "Why not?" asked Rufus. "Because pigs play on the poop deck," said the captain. "They swing from the yardarm. They picnic in the crow's nest. And they wipe their chins with the Jolly Roger." Rufus frowned. "But I have a backpack, a lunchbox, and a blanket," he said. "Useful gear," said Captain Wibbly Shins. "But not what the pirate I be looking for needs." And he waved Rufus on his way. Rufus Leroy Williams III really wanted to be a pirate, and he knew just what he needed. Rufus scurried aboard the Scurvy Dog. He grabbed a mop and went to work. "Pig on the quarterdeck," called the First Mate Scratch Whiskers. "And he has a hat." Captain Wibbly Shins clumped down the steps. "No pigs on a pirate ship," he said. "Why not?" asked Rufus. "Because pigs get tangled up in the ratlines," said the captain. "They roll up in the hammocks. Pigs draw on the treasure maps and build castles with the pirates' booty." It's another word for treasure. "Not me." Rufus held up the mop and pointed to the deck. We already have a deck-swabbing pirate," said Captain Wibbly Shins. "The pirate I be looking for needs a different skill." And he shooed Rufus off the ship. Rufus Leroy Williams III really wanted to be a pirate, and he knew just what he needed. "Nice eye patch," said the ship's cook. "But we already have a potato peeling pirate." And he shouted Rufus out of the galley. Rufus Leroy Williams III knocked on the captain's door. "Permission to speak, Captain," said Rufus. The captain sat up in his bunk. "No one interrupts the captain's nap," he roared. "But you need a pirate," said Rufus. "And I have a hat and an eye patch." "Useful gear," said Captain Wibbleshins. "But the pirate I be looking for needs something else." And he marched Rufus to the plank. "Wait!" Rufus wobbled back to the deck. He held up his book. "I have this!" Captain Wibbleshins wiggled his eyebrows. "Can you read it?" "Yes," said Rufus. "Why didn't ye say so? A reading pirate is just what we need." Captain Wibbleshins handed Rufus a treasure map. "Show us what you're made of, Piglet." Rufus Leroy Williams III unrolled the map. "Sail into the full moon. Turn right at sunrise. Stop when you hit dry land. Dig where X marks the spot." "Welcome to the crew," said Captain Wibbleshins. "Mr. Scratch Whiskers, hoist the sails." Rufus loved being a pirate. He loved rolling seas, and he loved teaching the pirates their ABCs, especially the letter P, and he loved the salty breezes. But he loved finding buried treasure most of all. Because new adventures waited inside. The end. So Rufus really wanted to be a pirate, but what was the problem in the story? The problem was that the captain kept telling him no, he couldn't be a pirate. So what happened that solved Rufus's problem? He told the captain that he could read by giving him a book. And luckily the captain wanted to learn how to read. He needed a pirate that knew how to read, so Rufus was able to be a pirate. So it was very good that Rufus knew how to read. That's what solved his problem. That's pretty cool. All right, let's move on to number 6, math. And for math today, we are going to talk about our 3D shapes. So our fat shapes that roll. Now I want you to think in your brain of something that rolls. Something that I can think of that rolls is a ball that we play with at the playground, right? Now, this shape is shaped like a ball, but the name of the shape, remember, it's called a sphere. A sphere. Do you think that this shape is going to roll? Let's see. I wonder if you guys can see this. Here we go. Whoop, it did roll. It rolled all the way across the table where I have my iPad set up to do my recording. So it did. It rolled. I could probably roll it right down my arm. Not so well. Okay, let's look at this shape. What's this one? A cone. Do you think that the cone could roll? It's kind of a tricky question because look at the cone from this side. It's flat. Do you think that something that's flat can roll? If I push it, it is going to roll off my hand? Nope, it stopped, right? It didn't roll. But what if I lay it on its side? Do you think it would roll that way? Let's see. Ooh, I can roll it back and forth in my hand. It is rolling because this is a curved surface right here. It didn't roll this way because this surface is flat, right? So it scoots, it slides, but it doesn't roll. But if I put it on its side, it does roll because it's curved. Let's look at this one. A cube. Would a cube roll? No, a cube would not roll. A cube does not have any sides that are curved. All of its sides are flat. So if I tried to roll it, if I gave it a push, it doesn't roll, it slides across my hand. Let's look at our last shape. Our cylinder. Would a cylinder roll? If you answered yes, you're correct. But there's a certain way that it rolls and a certain way that it does not roll. A cylinder has 1, 2 flat surfaces. If I put it down on one of its flat surfaces and I pushed it, it doesn't roll, it just slides. But a cylinder also has a curved surface. So if I set the cylinder down on its curved surface, now I can roll it back and forth in my hand because it's on a curved surface, right? So we talked about our 3D shapes today, and we talked about which ones rolled and which ones didn't roll. So the sphere can roll, it's all a curved surface. The cylinder can roll if you put it down on its curved surface, but not if you put it on its flat surface. Then we have the cone. The cone rolls only if you set it on its curved surface, right? Not the flat surface. Last is a cube. The cube does not roll at all because it does not have any curved surfaces. So, I have some of our math papers for us to look at. And we're only going to look at one part today. Here it says roll. And there's a picture of a basketball. Does a basketball roll? Yes, because it's all a curved surface. It's shaped like a sphere. Does the sphere roll? Yes, because it's all curved surfaces. Does the cube roll? No, because all of the surfaces are flat. Does the cylinder roll? Tricky, it only rolls if you put it on its curved surface, not if you set it on one of its flat surfaces, right? Awesome job, guys. All right, we're almost done with our video today. Number 7, flashcard practice. And today, we're going to do subtraction. Let's sing our song. Subtraction, subtraction. Subtraction means minus. Subtraction, subtraction. You take it away. All right, let's do our subtraction facts today. Here we go. The first one, 5 minus 0. You have 5, and then you take away 0. How many are you left with? 5. Nice job. 4 minus 4. You start with 4, and then you take away how many? 4. 4, take away 4. So you have 4, and then you take away 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice job. All right, here we go. Our next one, 5 minus 2. You have 5, and then you take away 2. 5, take away 2. 1, 2 is 3. All right, 4 minus 0. You have 4, and then you take away how many? 0. So take away 0. Remember, 0 is nothing, so you still have 0. 3 minus 3. You have 3, and then you take away how many? 3. 1, 2, 3. And that leaves you with 0. 2 minus 1. Start with 2, take away 1, and that is 1. Here we go. Let's do the rest without using our fingers. If you need to use your fingers, that's okay, but we're going to try to learn all of these without our fingers. 2 minus 2 is 0. You have 2 and you take away all 2. You are left with 0. 4 minus 2. 2. You have 4 and you take 2 away. That leaves you with 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. You have 3. When you take 1 away, that means there's 2 that are left. 4 minus 3 is 1. 4, take away 3 means 1 is left over. 5 minus 3. 5, take away 3 is 2. 1 minus 0. Remember, 0 is nothing. If you're taking away nothing, you still have this amount. So you still have 1. Last one, guys. 5 minus 1 is, you have 5. Take away 1, and that leaves you with 4 is your answer. Nice job. Okay, last thing we're going to talk about is our thematic video. Now, this week we're going to start talking about things that are living and things that are non-living. So, we have a video today. It's our SciShow Kids video, which is exciting. And it's called It's Alive! So, we are all finished with our video. You can go ahead and you can use the link that I put in the class tag post. And parents can go ahead and put on the It's Alive video. And I want you kinders to remember that I love you, I miss you, and I will see you on our video tomorrow. Bye.